Hey guys, trying to continue this Revit warnings video. Hopefully I'll have a lot more tomorrow, or at least a lot more ideas so I can make some more videos tomorrow, because I'll be working on a pretty large model and I'll be reviewing some of the warnings, and I'll try to identify some useful ones that I see happen quite a bit, and then I'll document them and try to present on those as well. So in this one, we'll look at multiple rooms are in the same enclosed region. So this is a very simple one to fix. And the reason why I think it's important to kind of talk about is so that people are aware of it and don't ignore it, because it does cause some issues to the model, the efficiency of the model, when there's a ton of these in there. So it's important to try to resolve them as soon as you kind of create that problem or this error. So just keep that in mind to try to keep the model health up, and to keep that people, when they're working in there, effective and efficient. It's just important as one of the main a pretty important warning, just to make sure to at least keep low. There's a few others to keep in mind as well, but this is one of them because of the way that it calculates rooms and stuff. So here's kind of what the error looks like, and then you can see over here the actual error itself, the description. So multiple rooms are in the same enclosed region, and it just looks at the correct perimeter and will be assigned to one room, and others will display as redundant. So you can see here we have two rooms placed in the same area. Well, first of all, on the top of it, kind of making the model a little bit less effective and less efficient when users are in there. It also is just useless to have multiple rooms in there. So to fix this, we'll just jump into Revit and take a look at some of these errors. And then we'll also take a look at another one as well. So in here we have a room. This looks good. If we click on it, we get no error up here, so it doesn't say there's a warning associated with it. If we move to the next one, we have two rooms in here. And we can highlight one and see that it shows a warning. If we highlight the other, it shows that warning. We can click on it, it shows that same one we saw in the PowerPoint video. And then it gives the two rooms here. So what we can do is take room 2 here, and we can simply delete it. And then down here we'll get this little warning that tells us that it's essentially still in the project, and it just needs to be either manually deleted or placed in another room. And the way that we can do that is, if we look here, I can come up to the rooms button, and then I can go down here to room 2, which is the one we just deleted, and we can actually place that in another area. And this is one way that it could potentially happen. So we delete this, we see rooms, and if we just press enter, it actually leaves it. Now if we go back, delete that, press escape, it just won't do anything. So you could easily see where somebody deletes this, either presses OK, or because they don't know, or don't are not reading this, or they simply don't want to mess anything up, so they press OK. But if you delete rooms, then what it does is it deletes it, and you can see it just stores it in the model, but isn't placed anywhere. So it's in the Revit project, it's just not placed in the model environment. And here's another one. This one has room separators in there. So we have a couple separators, and then I've placed two rooms. So if we wanted to come in here and delete this, what we could do before that is just shift this room over, if that's what is happening, and then we can delete that, and we can see now it consumes that space. That's one way to avoid that error. And so that's essentially what that error is and a couple reasons for it happening. You know, there's a variety of other reasons too. You could be shifting a lot of stuff around and those rooms become unassociated or they become merged with other rooms and so on. Just keep that in mind to try to resolve those as quickly as possible so that you don't have a lot of issues, you know, down the line with your model and maybe even causing corruption and stuff like that. So another one is down here. We can see this room isn't associated. If we actually click on it and show that warning, it's a different one. So it says it's not in a properly enclosed region. And if we tab into this wall, we can select that whole system. We can come up here and do a selection box, and then we can see down here that that room or this wall has been elevated, so it's now not, you know, closing that entire room in that space. And for us to resolve that, what we can do is come up here to the room separator and draw this in, and it should fix that room automatically. And you can see we don't have that warning anymore. Now, if you do get where it's separated or your room ends up being out here, and you notice that it does, you know, there's nothing associated with it. It's not, doesn't, you know, there's nothing for it to go to, then, you know, you can manually delete that. And then what we'll do is we'll go into the schedules, we'll right click, and then we'll do a new schedule in Quantities. If we click on that, we can type R for rooms, come down here, press OK, and then what we can do is press OK again. And then something we could do is just get the name of those rooms. And so with name added, we can add something like area, also level, and I think maybe upper limit. I know volume, stuff like that, like perimeter. So like these parameters, when we bring them in there, what it'll tell us is that this is not placed, or not volume, my bad for that one, but area and perimeter and some of the other options, what they'll do is they'll tell us if that model is not placed in there or that room is not placed in the model. And then from there we could filter this list and so on, and then remove those. And to simply remove them, what we would do is go up here and delete, and then we would say okay, and then it deletes those rooms from the model and they're not there anymore. So hopefully that gave you some clarification on that warning, and you know what to do with it when it does pop up. It's, you know, not bad to just remove them. It's easy enough to add a new room if one does get deleted. So just keep that in mind, and let me know if you have any questions, comments, and whatnot. If you want access to this video, this PowerPoint, and the thumbnail, just go to the link in the description, and in there you can download all my different videos and PowerPoints and whatnot. So again, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.